I pride myself on never losing my cool. I've never screamed at anyone. I've never gotten physical with anyone. But the ideas in my head that tell me to do things tell me to do unspeakable things.
Like what?
They're unspeakable.
Yo, it's your boy Zirk. And yo, I just watched Mike Israetel on a podcast talking about steroids, and this mofo said he want to eat somebody's organs. I'm not joking, that when Mike reads mean comments on Instagram, he fantasizes about meeting that person in the gym and eating their organs. Like, Mike, bro, that's not roid rage. That's Hannibal Lecter type shit.
I'll read a comment on social media, directed at me, I guess, about me, and I begin to fantasize about what it would be like and how much sublime pleasure I would receive in hurting that person at a deep physical and emotional level, hurting them in such a way that they're never going to walk right again and they're always going to remember me and how they dared to cross me.
Bro, what? Someone said your cable fly's form was mid and you ready to harvest their kidneys? That's not steroids, that's psychopathy. Mike ain't saying this happened once when he was having a bad day. He said, these are thoughts that I have daily, sometimes multiple times a day.
So now that the anxiety is a little bit more controlled, I'm actually noticing something. So I thought that once I brought the anxiety down, which we really largely did, I would feel kind of pretty good. Mm-hmm. But the lack of anxiety has revealed the other predictable psychological effect for me of being on steroids, which is anger and aggression, rage. Yeah, you get very, very angry, and a special kind of angry. I would call it righteous anger, kind of summed up in the emotional salience of how dare you. Like I'll read an Instagram comment and feel like, how dare you? Like I'll read a comment when I'm on Plenty of Shit, and it's, as usual, a highly disrespectful comment on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I fantasize about meeting that person in real life, walking up to them in the gym way too close to their face and be like, say something, you fucking pussy. Say it. Say it, and watch them cower and just relish as they cower. And then as they cower away, hurt them physically so that everyone can see and then eat their fucking organs. Total crazy shit. Now, these are thoughts that I have like daily, sometimes multiple times a day, randomly.
My guy, most people wake up and think, damn, I need to hit the gym today, or I should probably meal prep. Mike waking up like, which hater's liver am I eating for lunch? Then Mike said if someone tried to rob him with a knife, he wouldn't give up his wallet. He'd be like, nah, I'm going to die here. One of us going to the morgue or the hospital.
If I was getting robbed by someone at knife point, or not even knife point, just a guy, tried to be like, hey man, get out of my way. No, I'm going to die here before I move out of your way. You're either going to treat me with respect, or one of us is either going to jail or the morgue or the hospital.
Over a wallet, bro. Mike got direct deposit. He got Apple Pay. He probably ain't even carrying cash. His wallet probably got an expired Starbucks gift card and a Costco membership. But he ready to die over it because of respect. My guy, the robber don't respect you, he robbing you. That's the opposite of respect. Just give him the wallet and go get a new driver's license. It takes 20 minutes at the DMV. But nah, Mike would rather have a knife fight in an alley.
Do you know what honor culture is?
No.
Like the idea that like in the hood, you step on someone's like a gang member's Nikes and he just blasts you away and goes to jail for 20 years. Over what? Steroids, the honor culture comes from maleness. It comes from testosterone and other brain structures, of course. But the more testosterone, and steroids are all testosterone-like molecules, if you have 10 times the testosterone-like action affecting your brain, your proclivity to falling into honor culture-like behavioral patterns and thought patterns increases to an enormous extent.
So Mike tries to justify this by talking about honor culture and how in the hood, people get killed over stepping on someone's shoes. First of all, Mike lives in Michigan in an area with ponds. The only thing threatening Mike is a goose, and geese don't give a fuck about honor culture. They just attack everybody equally. Second, you really just compared yourself to gang violence and thought that made you sound better? No, see, I'm not crazy. I'm just acting like someone who would catch a body over scuffed Air Force Ones. Very normal. Mike, bro, that's not the defense you think it is.
So I thought that once I brought the anxiety down, which we really largely did, I would feel kind of pretty good. But the lack of anxiety has revealed the other predictable psychological effect for me of being on steroids, which is anger and aggression, rage.
But yo, here's where it gets sad. Mike said he lives in this beautiful area, looks out at the pond and trees every morning, and he can't feel shit, just rage and anxiety. He said, I remember liking it, but now all I feel is rage. Bro spent his whole life getting a PhD, building a business, making money, moving to a nice area, and now he can't even enjoy looking at a tree because he's so jacked up on a bunch of shit. The tree ain't do nothing, and Mike ready to fight it. Somewhere a squirrel sitting in that tree looking at Mike through the window like, this mofo tweaking.
And I'm at the extreme end of masculinity brain-wise to begin with. And so you see a movie where like the Hulk rips off an airplane wing and throws it. Some people will be like, whoa. Some people are like, ugh, I hate this movie. And some people are like, oh my God, I want to just be that whole thing.
Why?
I want that.
Mike said he'll read a mean comment and immediately start fantasizing about hurting that person so they never walk right again. And they'll always remember how they dared to cross me. My guy, they didn't cross you. They didn't betray you. They didn't sleep with your girl. They left a comment on the internet where everybody talks shit. But Mike, ready to cripple somebody for life because they said his posing routine or some shit was boring. That's insecurity, my guy.
Radical increases in aggression. I pride myself on never losing my cool. I've never screamed at anyone. I've never gotten physical with anyone. But the ideas in my head that tell me to do things tell me to do unspeakable things.
Like what?
They're unspeakable.
Mike said when he's on high doses, he gets foggy and can't think clearly. You traded your brain for biceps. You did a whole Pokemon evolution, but backwards. You went from Dr. Mike to Caveman Mike. You downgraded your processor to upgrade your RAM. And for what? To look good in a tank top? To hit a front double bicep that makes people go, damn? Bro, people already said damn when you had a functioning brain. Now they saying, damn, is he okay? Mike said every morning on high doses, he wakes up afraid of the rest of his day, like his body thinks there's a lion in the living room. But there's no lion, there's just oatmeal and a ring light. Your nervous system running Windows 95 while your body running Cyberpunk 2070. Shit don't match up no more. You supposed to be an apex predator, but you scared of Tuesday. What Tuesday do to you? The wildest part is Mike knows this is insane. He says, I pride myself on never losing my cool. I've never screamed at anyone. I've never gotten physical with anyone. So you got the thoughts of a serial killer, but the actions of a librarian. Your brain writing checks, your body smart enough not to cash. That's like having a demon living in your head, but the demon got good credit and respect for others. The demon want to eat organs, but he also want to make sure his car insurance is up to date. Why is he telling us this? That's what I can't figure out. Is Mike warning us or bragging? Because sometimes it sounds like, yo, don't do this, I'm suffering. But other times it sounds like, look how alpha I am. I think about violence 24/7. I'm built different. I think Mike genuinely trying to be honest, but the way he says it, bro, you sound excited. You describing your murder fantasies with the same energy other people describe their vacation to Cancun. You know what's gonna happen. Young dudes gonna watch this and think, damn, I need that energy. They're gonna hear, I fantasize about eating organs and think that's the price of greatness. No, that's the price of drug abuse. That's what happens when you put 25 times the normal testosterone in your body. Your brain can't process that much energy. It's like putting diesel in a regular car. The car don't run better, the car just breaks. But these kids don't hear that. They just hear Mike is jacked and aggressive, and they want in. They're going to be in the gym doing lateral raises thinking, I can't wait till I want to eat someone's organs. That's when I know I made it. Mike worked his whole life, got educated, made money, moved to a beautiful place, did everything right, and now he can't even look at nature without feeling rage. That's tragic, bro. That's like winning the lottery and then losing your sense of taste. What's the point of having everything if you can't enjoy nothing? Somewhere a bird chirping and Mike like the fuck you chirping about?
Like all I feel is
rage.
Can we talk about the podcast host just sitting there listening to this? Mike talking about eating organs and they just nodding like, interesting, tell us more. At what point do you stop the interview and call someone? At what point do you go, hey, Mike, you good, bro? You need a therapist or like an exorcist? But nah, they just letting him cook, letting him describe his Saw movie fantasies in 4K. That's podcast culture now. Someone can admit to anything and the host just like, wow, that's wild. So anyway, what's your thoughts on creatine? Look, I ain't a doctor. I ain't your dad. You want to take steroids, that's your business. But if taking steroids means you can't look at a tree without feeling rage, maybe just do push-ups. If taking steroids means you fantasizing about eating people's organs over Instagram comments, maybe just log off. If taking steroids means you'd rather die than give up your wallet, maybe just Venmo the robber and call it a day. Because what's the point of being jacked if you're miserable? Mike out here looking like Captain America, but thinking like the Winter Soldier. I'm Zirk. Stay sane. And remember, if your morning routine includes fantasizing about eating organs, it's time to lower the dose. Peace.